Hello and welcome back. My name is V and today I'd like to talk about something that seems to be the biggest news for all of us Persona fans in the past ages, probably since Persona 3 Reload. Now, according to some of the data that is now available, Persona 4 might be getting a remake. And I decided to read a few blog posts as I'm the kind of person who, I guess, finds it easier to read blog posts rather than watch videos, as I feel like I can form my own opinions better. So we're gonna read through some of it and talk about it and see what the overall public reaction to these news is. So this is an article by dlccompare.com. In their gaming news, it says Persona 4 might be getting a remake. Now, this has been rumored for quite some time, and there have even been some semi-official hints that Persona 2 and Persona 4 will be getting a remake. Now, I was under the impression, and this is what I kept talking about on stream and pretty much everywhere, that I believe that Persona 2 will get a remake before Persona 4 does, because at the end of the day we already have a playable Persona 4 game that is quite charming, and I think that one of these days I'm going to sit down and talk about whether I think Persona 4 needs a remake at all or whether it's playable in its original state, but that might be today as well. So according to this article, as it says, just over a year after the successful launch of Persona 3 Reload, fans have been wondering what Atlus has in store for the franchise next. While many were hoping for an update on Persona 6, recent evidence suggests that the next game might not be a brand new installment but rather a remake of a classic title. Just based on this paragraph, I have so much to say. First of all, as per Persona 3 Reload, that is probably my favorite game of all time. I speedrun Persona 3 Reload. I live it, I breathe it. It's one of my favorite games and favorite stories. And I know that some people say that, oh, Persona 3 Reload is just Persona 3 drawn into an AI upscaler or whatever, and this is the final product. I disagree. I think that they did a lot of work and put in a lot of quality improvements, and if this is the treatment that other Persona games can expect, like Persona 4, and let's be overly ambitious and say Persona 2 or Persona 1, even though I haven't played them yet, I think that this is really, really good news. As per Persona 6, I am expecting that we're going to hear some news during the Summer Game Fest or something like that. I think that Atlus is now sitting on a bunch of news, some confirmed, some not confirmed, and I think we're going to have a very, very interesting 2025 when it comes to Atlus revealing some of their future products. Now, as per this particular news, Faz or Scrambled Faz on Twitter said P4RE.jp or Japan was registered a few hours ago. 2 years ago, P3RE.Japan was registered. 3 months later, Persona 3 Reload was revealed. Now, I'm not going to act all knowledgeable and say that I know exactly what this means. I am not a data miner of any sort, and I personally think that a lot of people who see these kinds of news like to act like they understand fully what that means and that they're in the know. I personally don't like to do that, and the things that I don't know, I don't pretend to know them. At first, I thought that this would be like a website address or something like that, but it seems to be like a registered IP. So from that point of view, I think I understand what this domain is, and I think that it does include its special website, or will at some point as well. But when it comes to this article, it says speculation began when Twitter user Scrambled Fast shared a screenshot revealing that Atlus recently registered the domain name. So for me, not very and particularly knowledgeable about these things, a domain name basically means a website. Now, if I'm wrong and if this is something that I'm misinterpreting, do let me know in the comments. But I think that that's what it is. This is particularly interesting because in 2023, Atlus registered P3RE.jp, and just 3 months later, they officially announced Persona 3 3 Reload. This is probably something that they anticipated would be, I guess, data mined, revealed, whatever you want to call it. And I think that if they wanted to keep it fully hush-hush, that they would not even release anything that can be accessed by the public. I am not going to pretend and say that I know how this resurfaced or surfaced, or how this information is gathered, or who sits there and monitors whether these things are being made or not being made. But I think that they wouldn't have done something like this if they didn't anticipate that it would create some sort of a reaction from the public as well. And I think that that's not necessarily a leak. Sometimes gaming companies do this on purpose to build a little bit of anticipation, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think that even before the official announcement, it does build a little bit of hype in the community, and I think that overall it's good news. Good news for content creation, for the players, for pretty much everyone. So it says, if history repeats itself, an announcement for Persona 4 Remake could arrive in about 3 months, coinciding perfectly with this year's Summer Game Fest. If the timeline mirrors Persona 3 Reloads, we might even see a release as early as next year. Honestly, that would be big news, and I'm going to also be honest and say that I was hoping that Persona 2 Remake would get announced and published first for a couple of reasons. The first one being that I haven't played Persona 2, and I don't know if that's something that I should be doing at all if the remake is coming, even though I have this morbid curiosity for those particular games, even though they are unlike Persona 3, 4, and 5. And the second reason why I thought that Persona 2 Remake would be coming first is because we already have a very much playable Persona 4 game. I played it last year and I thought it was absolutely charming. I loved the experience, and I don't know if the game actually needs a remake, but if this is coming out as early as next year, or might be coming out, I am definitely going to be all over it. It would be such a great honor to be able to play Persona 4 in its remade form with the similar treatment to Persona 3 Reload. Persona 3 Reload is everything that I ever wanted out of a game, and knowing the story of Persona 4 and imagining it in a bit of a higher quality is just a dream come true. Now it says here, what could a Persona 4 remake offer? Although nothing has been confirmed, the chances of a Persona 4 remake seem promising. However, fan reactions have been mixed. Some feel that Persona 4 doesn't need a remake, especially since it's not as highly requested as other entries. Many were hoping for Persona 6, but it seems that announcement may still be far off. I have a hot take when it comes to this, and that is the fact that I think we've already gotten a Persona 6. It's called Metaphor Refantasio, and anyone who is not playing it because they think it's not Persona-esque is in the wrong. I personally can't speak fully, I guess, and truthfully when it comes to this game because I'm yet to finish it. I did pause my playthrough as I was streaming it for a while, and back during the launch I felt like, for my community at least, that it was a little bit too spoilery, so I'm planning to come back to it. But as it stands, Metaphor Refantasio is one of the best games that were released last year, and I'm not saying that replaces Persona 6, but a lot of the time and production and everything went into Metaphor Refantasio instead of Persona 6. So I think that there's a good chance that at some point we will receive some news on Persona 6, but it might not be just yet. As it says here, despite this, excitement remains as a remake could introduce enhanced visuals, refined gameplay, and modern mechanics while keeping the beloved story and characters intact. Now, I don't know if this means that the voice actors would also be the voice actors that were in the original game, at least the ones who are around and available, but we'll see. Persona 3 Reload was a huge success, and if Atlus applies the same level of polish to Persona 4, it could be another hit. Of course, until Atlus officially confirms anything, it's best to take this with a grain of salt. The domain registration could simply be a precautionary measure rather than a sign of an imminent announcement. Yes and no. I think if they already had a practice like this, that it pretty much means that we can expect this to happen. And I am also very biased when it comes to Persona 3, and it does make me question a little bit whether Persona 3 Reload is as popular as people say. It is my favorite game of all time, and I'm very, very biased when it comes to it, but I'm also trying to stay a little bit grounded and see the actual reaction to this game even now, a year after it's been released. As someone who streams Persona 3 Reload through speedruns at least quite often, and I visit the category on Twitch and follow the content that is being made on YouTube as well, it feels like there is a niche existing community who always has appreciation for Persona 3 Reload. And I'm not saying that the game community is dead, but I do wish that more people would, understand how good of a game this is and would give it a shot. I advocate for this game on a daily basis. I'm a diehard fan of Persona 3 Reload, and I will never give up on that. So if I can get a Persona 4 remake that has the same treatment as Persona 3, I think that is just something that is easily going to become one of those things that I look forward to the entire year. I am already excited. I think this is great news, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not disappointed, because any Persona news about any Persona game is, at the end of the day, good news, and I'm there for it. What are your thoughts on this? Would you like to see a Persona 4 Golden remake, or you think that the game is quite enough on its own? Would you like to see a Persona 6 announcement or a Persona 2 remake before this happens? Let me know in the comment, and if you do enjoy Persona content in all shapes or forms, do make sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video, and I will see you next time. Take care and bye bye.